1. Gru's age and timeline error.
I was like, who are these tiny tater tots? And where did they get so much denim? You just wouldn't quit.
Here's where things get strange. Gru's file says he was born in 1960, which fits when he watched the 1969 moon landing as a 9-year-old, but Minions 2 breaks that logic. In one scene, Gru and the Minions prank a theater showing Jaws, a 1975 release. If Gru were born in 1960, he'd be 15, not 11 as he states. It's a funny continuity slip hiding in plain sight. 2. Bob's missing lunchbox. Here's a funny one. In Minions 1, when Kevin, Stuart, and Bob hitch a ride with the villain family to Villain Con, there's a small lunchbox beside Bob holding his teddy bear, Tim. But as soon as they jump into the car, the lunchbox disappears completely. No explosion, no reason, just a classic animation slip that most viewers never even notice. 3rd, duplicated license plate. Now, this part blew my mind, because it's one of those blink and you miss it mistakes that feels too obvious once you see it. In Minions 1, when the little yellow guys are desperately trying to reach Orlando, they spot a colorful hippie van pulling over to pick someone up. The van's license plate reads, colorful, nothing weird there, until moments later an old lady's car shows up, and somehow it's rocking the exact same plate. Yup, same numbers, same letters, no difference at all. It's the kind of animation copy-paste shortcut that might have slipped through production unnoticed. But for fans who love catching small details, it's a fun discovery that makes you wonder. How many cars in this world are driving around with the same tag? 4. Stuart's disappearing arrows. Just when you think the animators couldn't possibly miss another detail, they hit us with this. In Scarlet Overkill's hilarious retelling of the Three Little Pigs, Kevin, Stuart, and Bob take center stage as the Piggy Trio, only this version has a much darker twist. Stuart, dressed as one of the pigs, gets pelted with arrows that stick all over his back. It's a funny visual moment, totally in line with the Minions brand of slapstick chaos. But in the very next shot, right before Scarlet as the wolf unleashes her punishment, those arrows, completely gone. Poof, vanished like they never happened. It's a tiny continuity error that doesn't ruin the fun, but once you notice it, you can't unsee it. 5. Gru meets Dr. Nefario twice. Here's where things get confusing. In Minions 1, young Gru meets Nefario at Villain Con and later uses his freeze ray to steal the Queen's crown. But in Minions 2, Nefario acts like it's their first meeting, giving Gru the sticky gun. So, which is it? The writers either forgot or mixed up the timeline, a rare continuity slip in the usually consistent series. 6. The 4-stick nunchaku. Here's another error that's crazy if you really stop and look. In Minions 2, during the hunt with the vicious 6, the nun, who is essentially a martial arts powerhouse, throws her nunchaku at Gru and the Minions. In remarkable slow motion, every stick whirling through the air is clearly shown as the scene slows down. Something seems, however, off. It appears like there are 4 sticks rather than the conventional 2 sticks linked by a chain. At regular speed, you might not even notice. Slow it down, however, and it's quite evident. Nunchaku have only 2 sticks. There's no way around it. Though the action is so ridiculous that it won't ruin the scene, once you notice it, you cannot unsee it. It's one of those small faults. 7. Child skin color change. This one is discreet but very evident when you notice it. As Otto is carrying the Zodiac amulet, nearby children are playing. One young girl in a vivid yellow outfit is certainly dark initially. Quickly forward a few frames, Otto falls in the mud, then the same girl quickly turns white. Here it's simply color or error. There's no magical explanation. If you're not looking, it's small and almost invisible. Nevertheless, for eagle-eyed fans, it's hilarious and unsettling all simultaneously. One has to wonder how the animators overlooked replacing her back in the following shot. Although continuity in animation is difficult, this one stands out like a sore thumb. 8. Vanishing tree shadow. And if that wasn't enough, there's also the odd tree shadow glitch in the same scene. At first, the kids are playing under the sun, everything bright and cheerful. Then, a few frames later, a massive tree shadow suddenly appears on the ground out of nowhere. No movement of the tree, no shift in time of day, just a giant shadow that wasn't there before. It's one of those little lighting inconsistencies that only hardcore fans or careful pauses notice, but it's funny because it totally breaks the natural flow of the scene. just one more example of how even the tiniest details in Minions can get a little messy. 9. Otto's instant cleanup, one that'll make you look twice. Otto falls face first into a mud puddle while carrying the Zodiac amulet, but in the very next shot he's sliding down a playground slide completely clean. No time jump, no cut, just magically spotless. It's a funny animation slip meant to keep the scene tidy, but once you notice it, you can't unsee it. 10. Bob's magic duct tape.
Talents.
Hello, la 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 la.
That's not evil or a talent.
Ah.
Now, this is a classic Minion slip. At Villain Con, Bob is trying to prove how bad he is by rigging up his teddy bear with duct tape and paper. It's adorable and funny, a perfect Minion moment. But here's the catch. The table he's grabbing the tape from, there's no tape before he uses it. It's like the tape materialized out of thin air. A tiny continuity goof that's so subtle most viewers won't notice, but once you do, it's impossible to ignore. The Minions are masters of chaos, but sometimes the chaos extends to the animation itself. 11. Knife handle, flip, and one more subtle moment that sneaks past most viewers. The knife handle, flip. Inside the villain family's car, the mother offers small pieces of apple to the Minions using a knife. From one angle, the slightly curved handle is upward. Cut to another shot, same scene, and suddenly the handle is facing downward. Tiny. Almost imperceptible, but for anyone watching closely, it sticks out like a sore thumb. These are the kind of minute details that remind you just how complex animation is. Even small objects can mysteriously change position between shots. 12. Disappearing poster in Gru's room. Here's a small but noticeable detail. In Minions 2, when Bob and Kevin ask to sleep beside Gru, a poster of Wild Knuckles is visible behind his head. But as soon as Kevin lies down, the poster completely disappears. It's a tiny continuity error that doesn't affect the story but definitely catches the eye of sharp viewers. 13. Gru's goggles glitch. If you actually freeze frame this one, it's virtually humorous. Gru's trademark goggles, the ones that immediately identify him, sometimes have a mind of their own. In the center of action scenes, they are precisely on his nose, snug and perfect. A few frames after, though, angled, floating slightly above his gaze or just clumsily misaligned. Most spectators do not even see it, but once you do, it stands out. One of those little animation flaws that doesn't damage the narrative, but rather reminds you that even the most painstakingly animated characters can have a wardrobe malfunction, or, in this instance, goggle failure. 14. Currency anachronisms. And here's one that even hardcore fans rarely notice. The money doesn't match the time period. Minions. The rise of GRU is set around 1976, yet the cash we see features modern US currency designs, including enlarged portraits and color-shifting ink, details that didn't exist back then. It's like someone slipped in 21st century bills during a disco-era heist. Even funnier, the prices of goods in the movie reflect today's inflation, not what things actually cost in the 70s. And in earlier flashback scenes, the same issue pops up again. Modern payment systems and banknotes appearing decades before their invention. It's a small oversight, but one that breaks the illusion of historical accuracy in an otherwise perfectly nostalgic film. 15. The floating freeze ray. Here's a blink and you'll miss it moment that's hard to unsee once you catch it. In Minions, The Rise of Gru, during the wild chase scene, Gru drops his signature freeze ray while dodging the vicious Six. The weapon clearly falls to the ground and slides out of view, but in the very next shot, no pickup, no pause, it's magically back in his hands as if nothing happened. It's a tiny continuity slip, probably an editing shortcut, but it completely breaks the flow once you notice it. A classic floating prop moment in animation history. And there you have it. 15 Minions mistakes you probably never noticed. Tiny details, quirky goofs, and hidden continuity slips make these movies even more fun to watch. So, what's your favorite Minion slip-up? Drop it in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe. I've got way more coming your way.